Boys and girls, good morning.
Good morning.
Now, thank you for inviting Emma, Andy, and Robert over to your lovely school. And thank you, staff, for allowing us to come here.
It's a pleasure, isn't it, to have a real author in our room?
I've been really excited.
And I've got a lovely story to tell you. The story is all about Aberdeen.
There's actually two stories.
Yes, it's about Aberdeen and a seagull that was born in this beautiful city. Now, how did it start? Well, boys and girls, have any of you been to the harbour?
Yeah.
You've been to the harbour. You've been to the harbour. Well. I was at the harbour with my wife, Isabel. And we were looking at a boat going down the river, and it was going out to sea. And we noticed there was a bird sitting on the boat, and it was sound asleep. Oh, it was sound asleep. Yes. So we said, yes. And I said to Isabel, what's going to happen to that bird? It's asleep and the boat is taking it away. Well, we never saw it coming home. So we went back to our house to Wood End. That's where we went, to Wood End. And we sat down and...
My physio goes there.
To Wood End?
Yeah.
Yes, physios do work from Wood End. I remember I needed a physio, so I went to Wood End. Now, we sat down and we said, what happened to the bird? We never found out. So what did we do? We said we'd write a little story about the bird and an imaginary story about what happened to the bird. So the first thing we did...
And the story just comes up.
Yes.
So that's one question answered. I know, that was one of our questions.
Oh, I'll answer all your questions after this.
Molly had asked, where did you get your ideas for Tammy the Seagull?
Right.
Wasn't it, Molly? That was your question, wasn't it?
Who's Molly?
Oh.
Molly, thank you for that question. Thank you very much. Well, we decided we decided that we would call the seagull Tammy, and we would make up a little story about it. So, with your permission, boys and girls, I'm going to start reading the book. And we've got Andy, who's going to film everything, and we've got Emma, who's going to work the computer, because I cannot work the computer. So what I'm going to say is this. Are you ready? Right, when you're all sitting comfortable, could you see the screen okay?
Yeah.
Good. Sit comfortable and look at the screen. And that is the way it starts. Many years ago, there was a bird called Tammy the Seagull who had the magical power of talking to boys and girls. Yes, and he lived in the beautiful city of Aberdeen. Each day, Tammy could be seen at the beach on his favorite wooden perch, talking happily to any boys or any girls that had the time to say, hello, how are you? Now, yes, Tammy. So, Tammy had a friend, a young boy called Jamie. You can see Jamie there. They would meet and they would play near the large university building the city centre.
Marshall College.
Yeah,
Jamie there.
Marshall College. Sometimes Jamie's friend Audrey, anyone called Audrey here?
No.
No. Audrey would join in, and the three of them would skip and run and dance and have a wonderful time in the city centre. Now, Tammy, he was born high above the main street, so high up that he could see Holborn Junction. Now, your mums and dads would know where Holborn Junction is. You asked them. Most days he was seen gliding above the city. There he is there. And he would dive at high speed, dodging cars and people, and swoop and pick up a piece of bread. Now, boys and girls, within 1 year, Tammy was nearly full grown. He was now as large as Mum and Dad, and he loved, you see his Mum and Dad, and he loved the freedom of flying alone. He was a loner, and he soon felt brave enough to fly over the sea. Look at that. Oh, wow. Now, this is...
The time that I might want the boat.
Ah, well, we'll see. Tammy, please don't go near the harbour, his mum and dad would say. It's far too dangerous. Could you see the big monster? Well, he's like the Loch Ness Monster, but he's not the Loch Ness Monster.
Sea monster.
He's a sea monster, yes. And his name is Vara, V-A-R-A, Vara. And he lives deep under the water, and you know Vara loves to eat birds. Yucky, yuck.
He's eating one there.
Is he? He's about to catch one there, yes.
Yeah. But the bird might be able to fly away.
I hope the bird flies away, because I don't want the bird to get caught. I don't want it to get caught. But one evening, Tammy decided not to listen to Mum and Dad. He flew over the harbour and landed on the deck of a boat. He then found a quiet spot, and guess what happened? Right, he fell asleep. And unknown to him, the boat was leaving Aberdeen and heading across the sea to one of the oil platforms.
That's where my brother works.
Your brother works on a platform. Wow. Does anyone else have a relative that works on a platform? You have? You have? The oil platforms?
Yeah. Somebody I know goes on the sea.
Yes. What do you want to say, friend?
My uncle works on the oil platform.
What's your first name?
Riley.
Wiley? Wiley's
Riley.
Riley.
an R.
Yes.
Riley's uncle works on a platform. Now that's a very dangerous place to work on, because first of all, you got to fly out there in a helicopter.
My dad didn't go with does it as well.
Is that so? Wow.
My brother's scared of heights as well.
I'm scared of heights. Yeah.
I love heights.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. You'll need to go to the circus if you like heights. Right. The next, boys and girls, the next morning, Tammy woke up to the clatter of chains on a steel deck. Yes. His friend Jamie had also hidden on the boat.
That's not a very good idea.
No, the noise frightened Tammy so much that he held on to Jamie. Wow, I'd have been frightened too. Now, you know, boys and girls, the sea was calm, and the boat kept a very safe distance from the huge platform.
That place looks fun.
Yeah. Now listen, later in the day there was a storm. Look at that. And the boat, oh look at that, the boat was pushed very close to the platform.
No.
Tammy whispered to Jamie. Now Tammy was getting very nervous. And he whispered to Jamie, I should have listened to Mum and Dad. And I should never have gone anywhere near the harbour.
Yeah, because there's sometimes like you might fall inside the sea.
He could, and that's very...
Fields at the harbour.
And there's...
The boats are dangerous.
Yes,
What he gets, sir, why can he not fly back? Boats are
yes, he could fly back. But I'll tell you something.
Yeah, it's because he doesn't know where just because the storm. They could.
Oh my gosh, look at that. That night, Tammy and Jamie were awakened by a noise from the sea. And the air was warm and so uncomfortable. Then there was a roar that rocked the boat, and out of the darkness, they saw a large shadow, bigger than a house. Wow. Jamie screamed, and he covered his eyes. Vara was close, and oh, he's getting frightened. Oh, I'm sorry about that.
I'm scared.
No, it gets all right. I'm sorry if he got a bit frightened. Vara was close, and he was hungry. He was hungry. Tammy was so scared that he did not know what to do. Then he remembered his mum. He remembered his mum telling him that prayer always helped. So he closed his eyes tight and prayed like he had never prayed before. Well, what happened after that? It gets better now, my friend who's nervous and frightened. After a little while, they saw a bright star in the sky. And then the sea get very calm. The prayer has worked, called Tammy. Oh, the prayer has worked. And with that lovely thought, both Tammy and Jamie fell asleep.
I was like, oh, not
Yeah.
again.
Well, they fell asleep, yes. Now the following day,
What does seagulls feel?
yes, the following day, the boat was on the move again. Great, thought Tammy. This is wonderful. We'll soon be home. We'll soon be back in Aberdeen. Not so. Not so. The boat was not going home to Aberdeen. The boat was going to a far, far, far away place called
Who's driving?
Denmark.
Look, because it's got the flag. It had the flag on the other picture behind that.
Oh,
On the boat. The boat is driving its boat.
could we go back one?
What's driving the boat?
Oh, that flag there.
What is it?
That's the British flag.
No, there was, there's only like the British flag in the corner.
Yes, that's the British flag, yes.
No, but like, what's all the red stuff? Like red bits on it.
All right. Oh, here's a young man that wants to say something. Right, what is it?
Who's driving the boat?
Who's
It isn't.
driving the boat?
Who's driving the boat?
No one. It's
No.
sailing.
The
I
captain.
know.
The captain is right up there in the front, and he's
Driving.
and he's driving the boat, and he's a very
You can't see them because there's like a gate and you can't, and they just come in and out and then they just say, are you ready to go?
that's right.
And
So the captain is in charge of the boat, and when
how is the bird and the boy allowed on the boat?
yeah,
But
and
then the boat sinks, the captain needs to stay on the boat.
how did you know? That's very
The captain goes down with the ship.
that's right. The captain goes down with the ship.
We're learning about boats.
This lady has seen the Titanic. Now, thanks, Emma, my love. Now, horns were blowing, wah, 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 and flags were flying at a shipyard. A passenger liner was being launched. Now, in contrast to all the noise, they had a beautiful garden called Tivoli Garden. Now, if you went to Tivoli Garden, you got peace.
Like heaps of things.
Yeah, you got peace and quiet. There were beautiful flowers and soft music. But these guys were homesick. They were desperate to get back to Aberdeen. They really were so sad, so they were crying. And they missed their parents very much. And all they wanted to say was, "Sorry, Mum. Sorry, Dad. We will always listen to you in the future. We will never disobey you and fly over the harbour again."
How can it human?
Yeah. Now, Tammy and Jay...
She was on a boat.
Sorry?
Sneak on it.
Yes, it's very dangerous, yeah. So if you go there...
I see a star.
And yeah, and if you look at the beautiful stars, yes.
That's a majestic house. When I was at the caravan, I seen a shark aeroplane and a lighthouse.
I think we're ready to hear the next part, so I can't wait to hear it.
Uh-huh.
We're going to listen. I think we need to listen.
Here's a boy that wants to say something. Could he say something?
Yes, very quickly.
Flag's not on the ship anymore.
Sorry?
The flag's not on that ship on the ship anymore.
Oh, yes, I'll see. So they are saying cheerio there as they go along. Now, listen to what happens now. Listen to what happens after they've been crying. Tammy and Jamie were so happy to see the sailors smiling, and they were casting off their ropes, and the boat was soon moving again, right? It was late evening when the boat passed the lighthouse. See the lighthouse? That big thing there?
Yeah. The lighthouse starts red and white.
Yes.
With the little
And-
windows in it.
And
I
that...
know what a lighthouse does.
Good, tell me.
Do you know when like sailors are out and it's very dark? The lighthouse and then like the lighthouse glides,
And it also helps
and then the
them get
light,
home.
and then the light glides them back to their house. It helps them when they get lost.
Absolutely right. The lighthouse is there with a big, big, bright light, which tells the sailors, don't come any closer. There's rocks, and rocks over here, and you may get hurt. Yeah. Okay, so it was late evening when the boat passed the lighthouse, and the seagulls flew close by and called, "Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye." But they were saying goodbye not in Scottish, but in Danish. But it sounded good. It sounded good.
How did it say goodbye? Goodbye.
Right, listen to what happens next. The story only gets better. The captain followed the bright star for 2 days. That's in there.
What does the little thing say up there? Welcome home.
Welcome home. Tammy heard the sound of the seagulls talking in his own language.
And the mums for the kids.
And then he knew he was home.
Flag was still there, you just
Yeah, one
couldn't see
kid.
it.
I see the two parents for the kid and then two.
You've seen that, and you've seen that, your
Right,
mum.
then if you can let Robert tell his story, please, okay?
I want to hear it.
So listen, their parents, we're coming to the end of the story. Their parents were at the harbour. Now, if mum and dad or your uncle or auntie take you to the harbour, you'll see these buildings there, and you'll see the boats coming in and going out. It's a lovely sight. So Tammy called across to his mum and dad, and he said, "I'll never disobey you again." So here we are. Tammy and Jamie told their story to other seagulls and other small boys and girls. They told of the frightening journey, the loud roar of Vara. Could anyone here make the sound of Vara? That's it. That sounds exactly like Bara. And they would always end their story, boys and girls, they would always end their story by saying, listen to your mum, listen to your dad, because they love you so very much. So I think boys and... Yeah. Was that a very short story or was it a long story?
I think that's his girlfriend.
That's Audrey.
I think that's his girlfriend.
She's a lovely girl. She comes from Hazelhead. Yeah. And
We've been there with school.
have you been to Hazelhead
Oh,
School?
sure.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Well,
I've been to Hazel.
teacher, my love, I think that's about it, you know.